Well, good afternoon. I'm here live, MicahMan or at Farmer Muck. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be cutting this field of hay. I have my 1411 Discbine right here, my 3688 tractor, and the field that's behind me, we're going to be cutting this field of hay. Decided I'd bring you along live. Hopefully everything works smoothly, and we'll be able to get this field of hay cut. Just while a few people are tuning in, here's my cutter. This should not take me too long because I'm only cutting half the field. You can see the rollers back here. This squishes the hay that I cut and it crimps it so that way the hay dries better. Just pulling out some of this loose hay. As you can see, I'm going to be needing a new shield soon. But this cutter works really well. You can see the 8 turtle heads that I use. These 8 turtle heads cut the hay really well. They zip through the grass. I can go at a high rate of speed between usually 13 to 15 miles per hour. So I can cut hay pretty quickly. You can see how those rollers the hay zips through, suctions like a vacuum through the rollers, and it crimps it and puts it into a nice pile. Anyway, so that's how that operates. And we'll be zipping through this field right here. It's maybe a 5-acre field. Shouldn't take me long at all. We have a 3688 tractor, which I rebuilt with help, of course, a couple years ago, like 18 months ago. So far, it's been working pretty good. A few little cosmetic things I need to fix up. New paint job would be nice, but the interior I redid. So, just a few more people are tuning in. We're going to get this field of hay cut. It is ready to be cut. There is some nice alfalfa on the edges, but it's almost almost past the prime. But it's been a wet year, so we're going to be able to get this hay cut, and we shouldn't really have many issues. I think it's going to be dry the rest of today. I don't know, maybe check the radar from Quantico, Wisconsin, but we have a nice window, which we haven't had many windows of opportunity to cut hay because it's been so wet. So let's get this hay cut. Hop in the tractor with me. All right. This is the interior. It is nice. I have a radio up here if I ever want to listen to things. I've got my AC up here. Gonna turn that up a notch because it is warm inside the tractor. Got my parking brake right here. All my gears. I technically have 16 gears, high, low, with 8 gears. And this is my setup back here. I always start out my first row. I drive on the uncut hay. And then once my first path is done, then I go opposite and I drive over the hay that I've cut. That way I'm not matting down the hay with my tractor. So it really is a beautiful day getting this all set up here. We'll have it ready to go here in a second. Let me slip it in my tripod. Hello from Quantico, East Troy, Wisconsin, technically. Glad all of you could tune in. Hey, Ben. Thank you. Hey, appreciate the new sub. It's always interesting live streaming while you're trying to cut hay. Live streaming and cutting hay is not the best thing to do in the world because there's so many things that you got to take care of. Making sure the cutter is in line, but hopefully we'll have a little bit of fun. Hello from Wisconsin. QJNS. I'm shouting you out. Shout out there, buddy. And Ben Johnson, thanks for tuning in. That's awesome. Glad you can tune in. All right, so we'll get cutting here. Got my blinkers on. I can turn my hazards off, I think. Let me just show you what we've got going on. This is my cutter back here. Now I'm hoping that I can do this without it being too wobbly, too wiggly. We will see. We're going to find out. As I said, it's not the easiest cutting hay here. And live streaming. So let's start it up. Let's put the throttle back down, get it into gear. All right. Yeah, it is a small screen. We're going. We're showing you how it works. First, I got to take the parking brake off. You put it into gear. All right. Wait a second here while I get you all set up. Just a second here, folks. Okay, let's see how this goes. All right. How it goes, folks. Let's see how this lays down flat back there. This is not my lawn, Dave. This is just a field of hay that I cut for a friend. They've got a honey farm, so they wanted some organic hay. And they didn't spray this. No pesticides. All naturally grown. All right, we're gonna adjust this just a little bit. Let's see if we can get a better setup here. There we go. I just cut through the swap here. I know it is a little wobbly. Bear with me. Bear with me on that, folks. See how the hay just lays down behind the cutter? Hello. Welcome, welcome. Now we're going to try to get up close to the edge here. Problem is I'm cutting next to the roadway. There's a ridge there that I've got to cut around. Hey, it's getting a little thick here. I'll read the comments in a second. This is really the first step in cutting hay, Gage. This is still first cut on this field. So far, the reception isn't that bad, which I'm thankful for. All right, we're about reaching the edge there. All right. So we're done with the first pass. Now I'm going to turn around and get focused back, and we'll start looping around the field. This is grass. There's a few weeds in here, but the horse and cows like that. They'll eat anything. The right stick, hello. Hey Ben. Henry, great to hear from you. Awesome. All right. Let's get what we're gonna do here is turn around. All right, it's gonna be a little wiggly for a little bit. Just bear with me, folks. Thanks for tuning in live. That's awesome. I really didn't want to cut hay today, but I've got a wedding to pay for coming here in August, so I need to cut hay. Stay on top of it. With the rain we've got, so many small windows of opportunity to cut hay. But you got to cut hay while the sun shines. What's wrong with my screen? I don't know. What's wrong with your screen? I only can do so much with my phone live streaming. Just thought I'd show you what we got going on here. Is something wrong with my screen? I have no idea. It is satisfying to get a feel of hay cut. And actually, the hay doesn't look too bad, surprisingly. This is what it looks like on my tractor. Woo! We're bouncing around a little bit, folks. All right, we gotta make a turn right here. All right, let's get back to cutting. Farming can be fun, but it is a lot of work. On those sharp curves, I like to dull them down, so I just drive over the other areas. I'm going to turn here. I'm on my third pass around the field. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the chat. This is an international harvester tractor. Yep. It's kind of in those in-between years when Case was buying out Farmall. It's an international harvester, year 1986, I believe. Although this is first cutting hay, it's a fairly good quality yet. It's still pretty nice and tender. One nice thing about my tractor here is, well, most tractors, to be honest, you have separate braking systems for the two rear wheel tractor tires. So if I want to take a right-hand turn, I brake the right wheel only separately. And it allows me to make the turn nice and fast and sharp, especially the sharp turn. When separate braking systems come in handy. And this is our view from the tractor. This is a somewhat of a residential area. You'll see me braking separately right here, I think. Right brake applied, sharp turn on the tractor tire. Go. Right, let's go back to the cutter. That part of the field that we just cut is always the thickest part. It's the lowest part of the field, so all the water and nutrients flow to that part of the field. Hello, Scotland. That's awesome. Hello from Hungary. How do you want to make a zora? I don't know very many words, but I do know a few words in Hungarian or Magyar. Sandor, hello. I have friends in Budapest, Pécs, Budapest, and Nyíregyháza. Hello, Highland train spotting. We do a little bit of silage in the fall, but we have someone else do that. I love when the fields look like at the end of fresh hay mowed down. It's a great sight to behold. Going a little crooked here. That's pretty cool that you drive Massey 8s. Saw some of those, I think, in our July 4th parade. I think they're Massey 8s, possibly. I'll have to look that up and check. right, we're on our fourth pass, so now I turn around. Beautiful day today. I'm driving an International 3688 tractor. It's about 30 years old. Actually, 40 years old, just about 40. Coming up to its 40th birthday. What I typically do is cut down the center of the field. Let's see here. I might try to make a guess at it. We'll see if I end up in the middle. That's always an interesting guess. Hopefully I guess right. Just gotta pick a point. You gotta pick a point at the end of the field and stick with it. All right. I'm sticking with 1 point, and hopefully it's fairly straight. I have no idea. I am from Wisconsin, southeast Wisconsin, about 1/2 hour from Milwaukee. Yeah, so I have AC. When I had trans second year turning, sorry about that. When I had the AC, oh wow. When I had the AC rebuilt, when I had the clutch rebuilt, I had the AC changed. That's a hot place to be this time of year. Ooh. Now I'm cutting this a little bit different than normal because the field is kind of crooked. Oh, really, man? It's a beautiful day to be night day. Yeah, I definitely feel like I cut this a little bit tricky, but that's all right. What is that in Fahrenheit? I see 31 Celsius. Just curious what that is in Fahrenheit. I mean, yeah. What's perfect for silage? This hay? Yeah, those chopped up. We're doing something a little different here. See how this works out. See where that laid down right there. Yeah, this is about a 9 foot cut. That's a pretty good guesstimate there, Gage. All right, hands off for a second. Wobbly camera. I turned it up a notch so that we can go a little faster. This compares nothing to our sickle bar mower that I used to cut hay with 10 years ago. This makes a world of a difference. Man, I was feeling a little sick a little bit ago, but maybe just begin the track to help me feel better. I'm not sure. And I don't think I quite understand what you mean by hand over the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit. Like that? Woo! Good to see you, T-Dog. Good to see you in the comments again. You can see the track of the field up here. I am going to need to replace one of my tie rods up front. They're getting kind of loose. Hands off the camera, it'll be a little shaky. Hey, I'm glad you gained a bunch of subs. That's awesome. Is that what you wanted? I'll have to look that one up. For any of those of you in the Quantico area, I've got Vacation Bible School at the Quantico Baptist Church next week. Love to have you out. 9:15 to noon every day. Have a fun time. Learn God's Word. One more time, hand over the camera. This is for T-Dog 22. Woo. There you go, man. I'm going to look that one up. So far, I see wild daisies, clover, peanut lace, alfalfa, grass, of course. Quite a few different varieties of grass in this field. Great for goats, horses, unless they're really picky. I love this stuff. The more varieties of grass, the more nutritious it is. I don't like my fields to be too weedy, but some of those weeds have great nutritional content in them. You're welcome, Tito. Thanks for tuning in, Tanner. Works for horse hay, yep. That's a nice Queen Anne's lace blooming. Looking nice. Looking nice finished product here. Let's see the finished product over here. See it's here of my tractor. I raise and lower with this one right here. Thanks for all the thumbs up and those tuning in. If you're tuning in for the first time, I just produce kind of a lot of farming content. It varies from day to day. Some days it's baling day or raking day. Today it's cutting day. Some days it's chasing cows around the farm that got out. This is my full-time job. I do landscaping and work with my church and a few other things, bus driving included. But this is an enjoyable part of my life. So thanks for tuning in. All right, hand off the camera, a little bouncy. This machine has definitely paid off itself. Hopefully nothing major goes wrong on it. I've tried to keep the maintenance up on it, greased, oiled, etc. A little bouncy here. Bear with me. Let's hear where y'all are tuning in from. Which country are y'all tuned in from? Live view from inside the tractor. Welcome. To those who are new, welcome to the channel. Thanks for liking and subscribing the stream. subscribing to the channel and liking the stream, I should say it that way. I did my AHC tractor. About 82 degrees out today. Absolutely gorgeous day. I'd love to see the finished product up here. Yeah, it's not a huge field. It's a fairly small field. This part I can't cut anymore because the family sold it. And the other part of the family doesn't want me cutting their part of the field. So, I don't know, they're just going to let it grow. I help keep people's lots clean for them. It's a fun job to do. Ooh, a little bit of a wheelie there with the tractor. I normally have the sequence of this field down pretty good. And the past, because they shortened the field, I kind of got messed up in my judgment. So we're a little bit off in the placement of the cutter and everything, but we'll be fine. It's got a little swath to cut yet. It's important to get all the hay done, otherwise it won't dry right. Feel free to check out my other content. See if you want to subscribe to the channel. Appreciate your support as we are on this journey together. Wouldn't be possible without those who subscribe and like the videos. I enjoy posting things, but it's always great to see people who like the videos and find value in them. All right, hand off the camera for a second. Only on 26 in chat. So we can, or 26 live right now. See if we can pop that up a little bit. We'll be done with this field in about 10 minutes. Let's see if I'm right. That estimate. Let's see those fresh rows of hay cut. Everyone should drive the tractor sometime. It is fun. It helps your focus. Training as a kid, it's an awesome thing to do. Just trying to adjust my tripod a little bit. There we go. It's definitely something that every kid should have the experience doing in their life. All right, might be a little bouncy here as I make this turn. All right, we're on the other end of the field now. Driving tractors usually involves both feet. Some of the more modern tractors are a little easier to drive. You can shift without having to push the clutch in. That's always a nice thing. Maybe one of these days I'll get one of those tractors. But for now, I'm stuck with 40, 50, and 60-year-old tractors. But that's all right. I don't mind the older tractors. All right. No, this is not marijuana. That stuff kills your brain. What I love seeing right here. Okay, completed. Just about finished. Let's see. My goal of 10 minutes. We have 6 minutes left. Or I have to be done with this field. Got supper waiting at home. And my mom and fiance have all thing. So I'm looking forward to that. Sure, come take the wheel. Now, I'm not drunk again while driving. I never drink and drive. Stay away from the bottle. Yeah, older tractors are really cool. Just this spring, I got back my Marmol 706 German diesel that I had rebuilt. It was a costly repair, but we had it 25 years, and I didn't want to just send it to the junkyard, so I had it fixed up. That's a fun tractor to drive. It gave us a little bit of a scare because we had to have the fuel injector pump rebuilt again, and thankfully it was under warranty, so they didn't have to pay to have it fixed again. But man, that was scary because it wouldn't start. And thankfully our mechanic picked it up and they had the fuel injector pump under warranty. So that was a blessing. All right, not sure I'm going to get this done in 4 minutes. We'll see. It's great to have you tuning in again. Thank you all for stopping in on the stream. I know some of you are in and out, busy doing things, but appreciate you watching. Got about 3 or 4 more passes left on this field. Cut hay here with my 1411 Discbine. For those of you just tuning in, the machine itself is probably 15 or 16 years old. Actually, 18 years old. We bought it used, but it's been working great. Had a little problem last year, but it's just because I put too much grease in the slip clutch, so it wasn't turning. The PTO shaft wouldn't turn because the locking mechanism being too greasy. A little shaky every once in a while when I take my hand off the camera. My farm fields are in McQuantico, Wisconsin, East Troy. That's basically the only place I farm. That's in Wisconsin. In a beautiful state. We've got Lake Superior on our north. We have Lake Michigan on our east. Mississippi River on our west. And sadly, Illinois to our south. Not really. I'm just giving them a hard time. It's nice to have O'Hare Airport only an hour and a half away. You can get anywhere in the world, usually for $800 to $1,200 internationally. Europe, maybe $500 or $600, so not too bad. The blessed state is a beautiful state. We have the driftless region in our western part of the state. Beautiful campgrounds, the bluffs of the Mississippi River on our west. We've got abundant natural resources, whether it's fresh water, gravel pits, iron mines, paper mills, forests, amazing agriculture, dairy farms. We've got strawberry fields, GC, sweet corn, beans, cucumbers, you name it. Grow everything here in this state. Not bananas. Peaches, apples, all sorts of blueberries. We're blessed. We don't have any gas tractors anymore. We only have diesel. Well, we do have one gas tractor. I need to get it running again. I haven't started it for over a year. The 706 diesel, German diesel. They're somewhat rare, those German diesels. See if we can get 30 likes by the end of this stream here. We only have 19 right now. See if we can get up to 30 before we have to end it. Check out some of my other live videos. July 3rd, I had a couple live stream videos that really were popular. Baling hay. One of them was baling hay in the evening at dusk. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave it in the chat as you like the stream and share it. Thanks for tuning in. We're just about finished with this field. I'm ready for a good old supper here pretty soon. Hello, Mary Vermillion. Thanks for tuning in. Not sure if you're new to the channel or not, but welcome aboard. Feel free to check out some of my other content to see if you find it beneficial. All right. So that concludes the hay cutting. And now we're going to hop out, lock up this Discbine so it's road safe. All right. We are finished with the hay cutting today. I might actually cut some later tonight, but I got to go eat dinner. Got a men's prayer meeting here. We need to pray for our country, that the truth is known. There's a lot going on in our culture and society. Let me just clean this off. I got a little shaky here. This is the field. It's all cut. Mission accomplished. Now time for dinner. This is the 1411 Discbine. Give you a little quick walk around. Need to replace the safety side here so it doesn't throw any rocks out. It's really a beautiful evening. So thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, they didn't want this upper field cut. The land was sold and I'm not sure what they're planning on doing. I would love to cut it for them to keep it clean. That way the weeds and trees don't grow. So yes, looks great. Thank you, appreciate that. Anyway, hey, I guess I might as well show you guys some of the road driving here. Why not? Not sure how this is gonna work. All right, there we go. We're gonna show you what it's like to drive down the road with a tractor. Let me put my weights on my tripod here. Rigging up the weight system. You know what? I forgot to, well, that's all right. I just killed the tractor. Rookie mistake. There we go. Turn off the AC. Well, I killed the tractor. That was real great. It'll start up here in a second. Well, it's a beautiful night. There we go. All right, let's get rolling. On the journey home for a nice, delicious dinner. All right, I think we're good to go. All right, we'll spin around. Show you the front of the tractor here. Instead of cutting through the field, we're gonna jump on the side road here. It really is a beautiful evening tonight. Look, just a little oopsie. Driving through the countryside with my tractor. Beautiful evening to be out and about. Cutting hay, driving the tractor, you name it. Right, we're at a stop sign here. I do have blinkers on this truck, and the blinkers do work on the tractor, so that's nice. That's called a tractor stop. There's my field right to the left. There's a bug. Bug live on camera. Hit that like button. We're about to cross the trolley tracks. This train used to go between Milwaukee and Chicago. I don't know about this train actually in particular, but the East Troy Railroad Museum just purchased. Traffic is coming by. The East Troy Railroad Museum just purchased an old train car that used to run between Milwaukee and Chicago. and they're restoring it. And we just crossed the trolley tracks. That still is in operation today. We have a meal train that operates every weekend and when the weather is good. And then they give trolley rides all throughout the week. It's an awesome opportunity to experience trains and transportation like it was 80 to 100 years ago. Hello from Morocco. Hey, thanks for tuning in again. That's awesome. I want to visit Morocco someday. They need to hear about Jesus Christ there. Hello from Hawaii, Bobby Bruce. Is there much agriculture such as cows in Hawaii? Hello, Farmer Lance. Great to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. That's awesome. What kind of farm do you have, Farmer Lance? Oh, hello, Kentucky. My nephew's in Kentucky right now, and I think it's Hopkinsville, Kentucky, on an internship. Let's go through the neighborhood here, just for fun. We'll go through the residential neighborhood. It's always interesting passing cars. Most people know how to drive with cars. Beef cattle, about 130 head of black Angus. Hey, that's awesome. Do you bale all your own hay, or do you ever bring in any extra hay? Or do you use a lot of silage too? I'm trying to figure out what to do with the hay I have. I'm in Wisconsin. We have an abundance of hay right now. We're about to sell some. I need to sell some to help pay for some of these tractor bills. Just driving through this neighborhood here. Maybe I'll show you my farm. Give an awesome, beautiful setting for our farm. It's great to have an international audience tuning in. I know we've had people join our channel from Scotland, England, I think maybe even Wales, Ireland, I think, Russia, Hungary, let's see, Ukraine. Right now we have bad reception. And they're opening here to zoom around. Appreciate all of you tuning in. We're just about to end this live stream. I want to eat dinner. You might blip out here in a second if we go through a bad zone. All right, let's see here. Making a turn. There we go. All right. 8. Can you guess how fast I'm going right now? Who can guess how fast I'm going? What kind of farming do we do? My dad does a lot with the animals, but we have cows. We sold off about 20 to 25 though, because it's getting to be quite a bit. We have, let's see, pigs. Got about 20 piglets right now. My brother, he does hay farming, but he has a lot of it. He just has someone else bail up. He does vegetables. We share crop about 70 acres, maybe 50 acres, 50 to 70 acres. We just lost about a 6-acre field with a building project. We're going about 22 miles per hour right now. I think 23 might be the max that I can travel down the road. Not too bad. This is Daniel, one of our workers. Our driveway comes in at the top of the hill, and then we drive down into the valley. It's gorgeous. We're protected from the high winds at the top of the valley, from the top of the hill. All right, we're about to turn in here. Just some seconds. Really is beautiful. I'll show you. Unfortunately, you do see the business park creeping in closer to us, but not too bad. Kind of nestled back in the valley. Might take this back out later tonight, so you've got another field of hay. We shall see. My 706 is over here on the left-hand side of our driveway. I just recently rebuilt. Right there, you can see it. Beautiful scene, beautiful setting though here in the country. There's my barn. Oh, my dad's barn, really. Just love seeing this. In the morning, the sunrise is absolutely spectacular. There might even be some deer out tonight. Who knows? I'd love to see it. All right, well, thank you for tuning in live. Let me just show you a little bit of what we got out here. It is really gorgeous. I've got some bees, actually. Some of my live videos, you can see the bees, and even some of my shorts. The bees are busy in action tonight. I'm hopefully going to harvest some honey this coming week. Maybe, let's see, what night? Probably like here in the mud. I don't know. They're cooling off. Beautiful scenery here. That's it for tonight, folks. That's just a couple of our cows. We'll see you guys in the next video. Adios and God bless. Make sure you're in a good Bible-believing church tomorrow. Build your life on the Lord Jesus Christ. Adios.